Hello everybody, it is Caleb, also known as Cats here on YouTube, and today I have my new Bosch GV2. Unlock the panel here. So we have our Bosch D7212 GV2 commercial alarm panel, and this system is going to be mounted up in my room for my home office for my new job this November. But for right now, I have it set up temporarily so I can test it and show it to you guys. So over here we have our earth connection, which is just going to the house via plug. We have our AC power, our motion detectors, power, and common, which is this blue line right here, which I will show you in a second. We have our keypad wiring, which is then wired with wire nuts into the back of the panel, so that way we have more range on the keypad, or I'm sorry, to the back of the keypad. Down here we have our zones, and I will show you something special about zone 1 and zone 2. But over here, and then we have our door, and well, what will be the front door. And this system apparently was in a house. And also our battery lights blinking, as I currently do not have the battery terminals hooked to it. Those should be here this week. And yes, and I know you guys noticed this is a Interlogix casing, but it is the closest thing that I could find. I was not about to pay $150 for an enclosure when I have something that's it's the exact same thing basically. It's a metal box, so it is what it is. It can breathe. It's got everything it needs. So up here we have, like I said, got to connect our battery. Down here, obviously, the phone seizure light's not on because, well, it's not trying to call anybody at the moment. I do plan on having it hooked up at some point to the Acre side of things for link web, so that way I can keep an eye on it, apart from the DSC, which is the house system. And then operation monitor is a pulsing green, so that's a good thing. It means the system's healthy and that there's nothing internally wrong with it or anything like that. So we'll go ahead and shut the panel. Well, actually, I guess what we'll do before we do that is I'll show you zones 1 and 2. So zone 1, oddly enough, is actually a fire zone, which was just a general smoke detector zone. So I will take this shortener right here and trip the zone, and you can hear what the fire tone sounds like. And the user code's only 123 at the moment, but I will be changing that obviously to something different once the system is in place. So let's go ahead and trip point 1, which is our fire zone. So we'll go ahead and short it here. And there's no real sound warning. There's no siren hooked up. But I was honestly impressed with how loud the keypad is. I probably won't even hook a siren to it, considering my room is not that large, and really I might add an outside bullhorn eventually, but I can't even do that right now anyway, as I don't have a horn. But anyway, enough talking, let's get into it. So we'll just start with point 1, and that'll be our fire zone. If I can figure out how to do this with one hand here without shorting anything. There we go. So, smoke detector. We're going to silence that, and you can hear the bell relay. Oop, I heard 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and reset it. So I'm going to have to pause and put you down here. Okay, so she's reset. And go ahead and tighten these up. So we'll go ahead now, we'll do command 47, which will reset sensors. So command 47, sensors resetting, and you have to do that anytime you trip a fire zone or a latching hold up, or even what we're about to do. Okay, so it is not a big fan of me, it needs a second to reset. So let me actually do something real fast here, and I will be right back. Okay, so that was my fault. I didn't close the zone the way I was supposed to, but as you can see, it is reset now. And normally had I done that right, Command 47, reset sensors, and the smoke detector would clear out. So the next zone we're going to trip is point 2, which is the carbon monoxide alarm. And the carbon monoxide alarm, I want to say it's the same output that burglary is for the sounder here. I don't know what. Let's listen and see what the bell output does. I'm not sure if it does pulsed or steady for carbon. It may not even do one for carbon because, you know, you don't want, the word I'm looking for, you don't want anything sparking if there's carbon monoxide leaks. So let's go ahead and chip point 2, which is carbon monoxide. So go ahead. Yeah, it's just solid for carbon monoxide, so go ahead and silence it. And we'll do a reset. Oops, did the wrong code. I keep thinking that's a 4-digit code. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So now we'll go ahead and do a reset. So yeah, it was a solid bell output. So I guess it's just that's just how it works. So we're gonna do Command 47. Sensors resetting. And basically that just does a soft reboot, which, once again, you have to do it a particular way, which I'm not able to do with one hand because there's a reset jumper I have to do, or a button. So, yeah, so again, if you're just, like I've told people before, if you're just getting into alarms, don't get a Bosch. Get a Bosch, they're great, but if you're new into being an enthusiast, I highly recommend you take time to learn, because these systems, one thing I love about them is that, as you see, if you don't have the code and you don't have access to the panel, you literally, it's tamper-proof. You can't do anything with it. So there we go. Again, like I said, it says service battery missing because I don't have a battery hooked to it right now. So we'll go ahead and show you watch mode, which is basically Bosch's version of chime. So I'll open the door over here. So I take a minute because I just reset it. There you go. So that's used like if someone's, you can hear someone coming in and out when your system is off. And our blue line is also a perimeter zone currently until I change it. So there you go. See, that's working. Next thing we'll do is we'll do police panic and medical panic. I haven't programmed delays or anything like that yet, but once I do, once it's up, I'll do a more further in-depth video. This is just a kind of out of the box, checking everything out. So, but as you see, that says family room door. This panel, as I said at the beginning of the video, is obviously in a house, which is quite unusual because these systems are normally found in commercial installations. So it was either a very large house, or it may have been a group home or something, you know, like that. But we'll go ahead and we'll do the police panic. So we'll do Command 9. A1, 1 alarm. Command 9. Okay. So with police panic, you don't actually have to do sensor reset, which I literally just remembered. So unless it's a fire panic, you don't have to, which I don't have fire on this. Well, I have a fire zone, obviously, but I don't have fire panic. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to leave Command 7 as medical yet. I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet, but I might. Since I have the smoke detector hooked to it, I probably will just leave it as that, especially once it's hooked to link with. But so yeah, let's do medical now, which is Command 7, which is basically just keypad without bell output. And so yeah, that's basically just keypad, buzzer alarm without the bell. Now, obviously, too, once I get this system hooked up, I'll have a duress code. But currently, the system does not have one programmed from what I've been able to find. But I'll take you guys through. Oh, it was on TV. I heard a car beeping. I was like, what was that? But I will take you guys through. What's the word I'm looking for? The menu. So yeah, so that's what it is right now until I get the actual other zones hooked up. Like I said, this isn't very in-depth. This is just kind of out of the box checking everything, and so far so good. I mean, it's a very clean panel too. It's almost like I don't even know, it's like it's never been used. So, but we'll go ahead and we'll shut the door on this now, and we will go ahead and lock the panel with our key. Get it to go in. There we go. So, we're locked now. So, as you can see, it is ready to arm. It's going to keep saying battery missing until I get one, or until I get the leads. I have a battery over there. So, so on these systems, again, like I said, if you really want to view anything, you can't really do anything without the master code or programmer. So, we'll go down. As you can see right now, there's 10 zones bypassed on area 1 because obviously I don't have anything hooked up at the moment except 2 things. So kind of just going through, you can kind of see what this would look like for those of you that have never seen one in a residential. Basement window door, powder room window, kitchen window, family room window, dining room window, living room. Is that motion or window? Living room window. I don't know why I thought that said motion. Oh, probably because of this. Mud room window. I probably saw the M and got confused. Study windows, garage windows, glass break detectors. So I'm assuming they had more than one glass break, which would make sense if it was a large home. So, okay, so now we'll go to menu. So obviously if you want to turn chime, which is watch mode is Bosch's version of chime, you could go there, or the way I prefer to do it is just do command 6. Watch is now off, so if I open the door, it's not going to chime, obviously. But if I do, it'll just say not ready to arm, because obviously the door is open, but if I can get it to settle down, there we go. So ready to arm, and then we'll go to command 6 again. Watch is on, so now when I open the door, it should yell at me. As soon as it realizes that I've turned watch back on. And one thing any alarm enthusiast will tell you is that while these older panels are absolutely great, they're one of my favorites, they were not very good at multitasking. So, for example, the second you turn watch mode back on, when you open, and if you open a door at the same time, it's probably not going to chime because it's still trying to get it through its brain per se that, watch mode's now on. Or as you guys saw, I didn't enter the code on the fire alarm fast enough, so it went off again, and I had to redo it. Like I said, great panels. Only drawback is 2 things. They're not very enthusiast friendly if you don't know what you're doing, and 2, they are not very good at multitasking. But now it should be able to do chime. There we go. See, now it's like, oh yeah, chime's back on. So we'll go ahead and put that back here, and we'll go to the menu again. And next I will show you guys, so that's reset sensors, obviously, you already saw that. Remote program, so that is if you want to allow your technician or alarm company or what have you to access remote programming through RPS, but that's a whole other thing. We'll get into that another day. Walk test, so that is if you wanted to go from sensor to sensor and test it, and it will pulse the bell output as well as, I believe, the alarm on the keypad. Change display, I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to touch that until I look into that a bit more. I've never seen that on a Bosch. or on my other one, so I'm not 100% sure what that is. Change time date, obviously that's time and date. Change passcode. So if you want to change the master passcode, you'll need the current one, but we're not going to do that at the moment. Add change users. So if you wanted to add a user for like duress or a babysitter, or I guess more of a commercial aspect, maybe a cleaner or delivery driver. Delete user, you fire an employee or something like that. Bypass a point. So bypass a point is basically, let's say I'm in a store, I have a store and I want to arm the system, but I've been having a lot of issues with, we'll say, a motion detector. So I would find that, I would hit bypass point. And let's say, another thing about this panel is too, is that if there's something wrong, it puts off a very distinct tone. And I'll show that to you guys. Let's say the smoke detector is shorted. Fire trouble, and it'll tell you what's wrong. So to clear a trouble, you would hit command 4, but note that that is only a temporary fix, as it'll come back until the trouble's fixed. So for example, now the trouble's fixed, so that beep anymore. Say I want to do, we'll say point 11 is the sensor giving me problems. So point 11 enter. Oh, that's already bypassed. Crap, my bad. Let's do, what is not bypassed? I don't think 11 is even anything. Let's say sensor 15. Sensor 1, 5. May already be bypassed too. Yeah, it's already bypassed. But you get the idea. It would come up, it would say PIR, and then you would hit enter bypass. But let me, let's unbypass sensor 15 so I can show you. So, unbypass a point. So let's say the motion sensor is fixed, and I want to turn it back on when I arm it. So we'll go 1, 5. In this case, it's the mudroom window, so yes. So there you go. Point 15 is unbypassed, and next time the system's armed, it'll be used as that. But let's say I wanted to re-bypass point 15. As you can see, it's not ready to arm because it's open. There's nothing hooked to it. So we will go to back to bypass a point. We'll hit enter. 15. Okay. Mudroom window, we'll hit yes to confirm. Point 15 is bypassed, so the system's ready now. So that is how you bypass and unbypass a sensor. And another cool thing about Bosch's is even if you arm so on a lot of systems, the DSC, for example, you bypass a window, for example, and you arm the system. But when you disarm it, that next time, if the sensor's still screwed up, it automatically unbypasses it again. So if you forget to do it next time you arm it, you're kind of screwed. One thing Bosch came up with, which is another reason I think these panels are one of the greatest ones ever, is it will not unbypass a zone. So let's say I bypass, we'll say storefront motion detector. Once that sensor is bypassed, I can arm it, leave my building. When I come back the next morning and disarm it, that sensor is still going to stay bypassed, so as long as I don't manually unbypass it. So there's no risk of it causing a false alarm. And this is a great thing when you have like multiple employees or whatever that may not remember to re-bypass the broken sensor that next shift or whatever, and then you get fines and all sorts of stuff for false alarms. So it's just so much better the way Bosch made it. They really made it with a multi-user platform in mind, so that's another really cool thing about this. So the next thing we'll look at is did all that. View memory. So obviously there's no events, there's nothing in memory, but let's say an alarm goes off. Like you saw when I did command 9, it'll continue to show command 9 until you arm it and disarm it and clear it out. So that's just alarm memory basically. That's not really interesting. point status. So if I want to see what all is bypassed, area 1, there's 19 points. I can go through and see what all is bypassed and what all is not. Go back to menu. We'll go down to view area status, so that'll tell you area 1 is off, obviously, right now. So that's useful if you have multiple partitions. I know, for example, I won't say which schools, but I know of a school district where they have multiple zones. So let's say that we're doing an event at a school and they want the main foyer and bathrooms and all that to be off, but they want the cafeteria and the computer labs and stuff to stay on. Well, area 1 might say front office, and that might say off, but then if there was another partition and I hit up or down, it might say computer labs on and cafeteria on. So that's a very common thing in schools and event centers and things, where you may need to have one area off at an irregular time, but you want everything else on. So that's what that is. So view log, so that is, we'll say start date of January 1st, 26. Okay, I don't know why I put November of 2011, but hey, that's cool too. Probably because I accidentally hit a list. So as you can see, okay, so this panel has been in use since it was made. So it looks like at 2:55 a.m. on November 11th, 2011. It looks like somebody armed it perimeter instant. Somebody opened 10:01 a.m. Okay, so there was only arm and disarm for that day, which makes sense considering it was a home system. So that's pretty cool. You can go back and check things. That's it. Yeah, we just go back to watch mode. So that's really it for, like, you know, what it is right now. I'll be able to do a lot more functions once we have more sensors hooked up to it, but I'll give you guys one more good look at the panel here. Get the key. So yeah, there it is, and we'll close this again, lock it. I can actually put the thing in the right way, it might help. There we go. So it's locked, and yeah, it's ready to arm, obviously, as you can see. So yeah, there'll be a lot more, you know, once we get the system up and mounted. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I will see you guys soon.